Hers was very nice. Mine's not so nice. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Matt. I am Colin's oldest brother. Some of you may know me as the brother that lives in Florida, but most likely you know me as the one that doesn't sing. That would be Steve, our middle brother. Although, I was once considered the singer of the family. It's true. No. Between the ages of 6 and 18, Mom and Dad told me I had a lovely singing voice. It was literally one of the most consistent compliments they paid to me. Then I went off to college, and Steve picks up his first guitar and goes on to be a professional musician playing some of the best venues of the world. Guess what Mom and Dad haven't told me in 19 years? I'm sure Colin will specifically enjoy Steve's song tonight while thinking about my demise. I realize that sounds very harsh and is completely void of any context right now, but when I'm done with this speech, all of you will believe what I believe. That Colin remembered I was the singer in the family, and he had Steve sing tonight just to one-up me. I'm thrilled to be standing in front of all of you today because finally, I get to live out one of my all-time fantasies. You see, for years I've been waiting for the opportunity to expose Colin in front of the most important people in his life. A chance to air my grievances, if you will, in my Festivus of Best Man speeches. Thank you. Oh, no, it's not time for that yet. Let us begin. People think Colin and I are a lot alike. We have the same mannerisms, same sense of humor, the same superb body. Although I'm much taller. But what people don't know is that Colin has been systematically chipping away at my well-being for his entire life. I believe Colin's plan started in the early 90s when he decided not to be a girl. You see, Mom already had 2 boys and really didn't want another one. She cried for weeks after Colin was born. I console her every day. It was then that I believe Colin hatched his plan to one-up me for the rest of his life. How did Colin fund his lifelong pursuit? Steve and I used to get maybe $5 to $10 every once in a while from Mom and Dad to rent a video game or maybe go get an ice cream before Dad would eventually yell at us to get a job. I worked at a sandwich shop, a diner, a golf course, and had a paper route. I remember asking Mom one time if Colin was going to get a job in high school, and she said, Matt, he's just so busy. Typical. Steve and I can't prove it because Mom most likely burned the records, but we're pretty sure Colin had an allowance of roughly $31,600 annually between 1999 and 2010. Not bad for a non-working, non-tax-paying minor. With funding in place, it took years for Colin to figure out how he was going to truly one-up me. But when he did, he did not miss. You see, I had a few talents growing up, a few things to hang my hat on. I was a good creative writer. I liked teaching, and I really enjoyed coaching basketball. Being the supportive type, my parents, Mom would say, Matt, you should coach basketball and teach. You're just so good with young people. My dad, Matt, you are an excellent creative writer, and you should really think about doing something with it in the future. I failed both my parents. I currently do one of the least meaningful jobs imaginable. Basically, I sell rich people things they do not need to buy. But Colin, waiting for his chance, takes full advantage of my failure and jumps right in to one-up me. Colin becomes a teacher. In fact, he starts his career in one of the most difficult districts in the state and gets rave reviews as one of the best young teachers in the district. Yeah, that's nice. But that wasn't good enough for Colin. He really wanted to rub it in my face. Colin gets a job at my former high school, becomes a basketball coach, and goes undefeated with his first team. He does this while teaching English and getting his master's in, you guessed it, creative writing. I bet you can guess what Mom and Dad haven't told me in 19 years. In the last number of years, Colin's plan to one-up me starts to get extremely personal. You see, I meet a smart, funny, outgoing, and absolutely beautiful girl. She's right there. Hi, wife. Thank you. Yes. And somehow she likes me back. I decide to propose. I do it in the same place we first kissed. It sounds nice, right? Colin, of course, finds himself in the same position. He finds a smart, funny, and absolutely beautiful girl. And somehow she also likes him back. He decides to propose. So what does Colin do to one-up me? He goes to Africa. Tanzania. He surprises Mallory by proposing next to a waterfall at the base of Mount Kilimanjaro. He gives her a ring with Africa engraved on it with a little heart over Tanzania. While on bended knee, Colin serenades Mallory with a beautiful pre-written proposal, and the whole thing is witnessed by an African orphanage that is just overjoyed with the experience. Yeah. It's disgusting. Have you seen the picture? It's absolutely disgusting. Can't you see what he's doing to me? I can hear some of you, Matt, you're being absurd, you're overthinking this. There's no way Colin would systematically try to one-up you his entire life. I mean, he made you his best man. Listen, Colin didn't choose me to be his best man. Steve was his best man. Steve was my best man. Colin was Steve's best man. And from what I can gather after months of deliberation, and most likely some deep-rooted Southern guilt from my mother, Colin happily gave me the position. But Colin wasn't even going to let me enjoy this moment. No. Colin had to throw in one last jab to truly one-up me. How does he do it? How does he use his wedding day to one-up me? He literally plans his wedding in the mountains, brings my family to a remote location, miles away from anything we're even remotely familiar with, and he does this the day before my birthday. Yeah. Even for you, that is just diabolical stuff, man. I mean, seriously, at this point, I'm even worried about my son Hudson. I'm worried that if or when Mallory and Colin decide to have a child, they will just name he or she Better Hudson. If there are any doubters in the room, well, I just can't help you anymore because that type of denial can only be treated by a professional. For the rest of you, now that I've exposed Colin for what he is, I want you to know that my initial plan was to pull a total Big Brother move and challenge Colin to a feat of strength and tell him this speech would not end until he pinned me on the dance floor in front of all of you. But after further reflection, I've concluded this may not be the proper venue for that, and the altitude might get to me. You see, I'm still the oldest, tallest brother, and quite frankly, unlike Colin, I'm a gentleman. So I've decided to end the Festivus of Best Man speeches by saying this. Mallory, we are welcoming you today to the family in name only. You have been a family member for so many years.
Put me on a train.
You're really lucky to have.
Put me on a one-way runaway sky.
And last to my brother.
Girl, I really need a change. Want to see the smile on your face.
No words can describe how infinitely fortunate and proud I am to have you as my brother.
Let's be spontaneous.
Love you very much. So, let's raise our glass to family, health, and happiness. And Colin, always remember, happy wife, happy life. I love you both. Cheers.
Somewhere, all I know is you're not here, and all that means is I gotta get there.